were calling me the Mantis gun bunny. The male version, I guess. But yeah, anyway.
Meet the Pressers with Matt Mallory and Klint Macro. Brought to you by Public Safety and Education and the Trigger Pressers Union.
This episode is brought to you by Steel City Ammunition. Can't find ammo? We've got it. We'll ship it and our prices are fair. Mountain Man Medical. The right medical training and gear should be accessible to every American. Mantis. Mantis X helps shooters suck less. Meet the Pressers is also generously supported by other fine companies, ranges, and our Patreon members. Thank you.
Awesome to have you on, Cass. So glad you could come on Meet the Pressers. We've been friends for a while on Facebook, and I don't think we've ever met in person yet, but hopefully that'll change soon. And glad to have you. Tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do for a living? You know, what's your claim to fame? All that good stuff. Family included, if you like.
So everything's been going pretty good. I am better known as Star Snoop Dogg on Instagram and on TikTok. I was a domestic violence survivor, and I posted a photo of me going to my first shooting class, and it kind of grew into a way of empowerment. And so now I spend my time trying to empower domestic violence survivors and raise money to get them some things that they need when they're inside of the shelter. I went from being in an abusive situation for 13 years.
Wow.
Now training officers as well as other domestic violence survivors, firearms. Recently, I was banned on TikTok, and I am not quite sure whether that is because telling my story and it being too disturbing for the TikTok audience, or whether it be because I promote firearms and talk about red flags a lot.
Right. And Derek, you recently got banned as well, right?
Absolutely. So obviously our page is quite a bit smaller than hers, but, obviously we talk about, safety with firearms, our two-way rights, also, kids safety. So everything we do is about, obviously safety, discipline, respect. And, the other day I had a video that was doing really well, had, almost 200,000 views. And I stepped away for a second and came back, and all of a sudden there was an error message and said that my account was totally banned. And so two years of content is gone. And so I'm still trying to figure out, what happened. I've appealed multiple times. So hopefully we'll hear something.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. We just started doing stuff on TikTok. We don't have a ton on there. We're picking up more stuff on Instagram. All ours is basically obviously in person with classes, and then YouTube with the show. But I just couldn't imagine putting all that sweat. Actually, it happened with Facebook to Iraq Veteran 8888, Eric and Chad's page. Their Facebook page got shut down. And once again, what do you do? What do you do? That's like, your landlord coming in while you're out at work, and you come home and, I paid my bills, but you didn't because I like guns, and you're going to evict me. It's nuts. It's nuts.
TikTok is an amazing platform to spread a message of proper training, especially firearms. I know I see a lot of people mishandling weapons on TikTok. And I've taken that opportunity to kind of call out those moments and say, hey, here's the proper way to do it. Make sure you are always, maybe try this. And not in a negative way, not trying to call people out.
You reach out to them directly, though. You're like, oh, I saw this. Let me private message them and say, hey, this, just so you know, that's not good for the industry. That's not good for safety. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody directly and saying, hey, I noticed this. That's probably not the best way to do it. Safety reasons, let me help you, because I want, for the betterment of the industry, for the betterment of, their safety and their experience and educational growth. And I prefer that way. A lot of the times you see the keyboard commandos on the internet just saying stuff and doing stuff. And it's sad that we've got companies like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube suppressing this industry when we're doing legal stuff. We're not doing anything illegal, but they just don't like what we're doing at all. And I'm actually kind of excited. I just bought some stock in Trump's new social media endeavor. I bought it the day after it dropped. So like my wife's like, you got to get some. And we're going through Walmart and I was going to buy it. And then I forgot. And then she's like, you didn't get it. I'm like, no. And then that night it dropped like 23% or something like that. And was it 23%? I don't know. It dropped a lot. And then the next day I was like, time to buy. So I bought some, and it's gone up a little bit since I bought it. So, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know, but it's going to be hard to jump from Facebook, TikTok. There's so many. How do you guys manage that?
If I make something on TikTok, it will automatically post to Instagram, which will automatically post to Facebook. But if I post something on Instagram, like Reels, I have to save it and then move it over to TikTok, but it'll automatically post on Facebook.
Yeah, it's definitely a full-time job. One thing I realized through this, I jumped on TikTok early, before everybody else, and just because I knew that's where the kids are at. And so you'd be surprised, with the safety thing that we're talking about earlier, is like that's a way to correct behaviors and also make sure that we're putting out information that's vetted and it's solid. That way the people that might be on the fence when it comes to our guns, or they might not have understanding of our firearms, that's why it's a really, really cool platform. You can reach but there's also a lot of negativity as well. It's just like every other platform is there's a lot of trolls. And so you always got to use everything with moderation.
They're okay with the trolls and the negativity,
Absolutely.
But not the positivity that you guys are dishing out.
Yeah, it's so hypocritical. They they sexualize young kids on there. There's all sorts of all sorts of stuff that morally would be against kind of what we stand for on our side. It's kind of actually promoted, which is weird. Anything. I'm not big on Trump, but anything pro Trump is going to be shut down, or the algorithms are designed to shut it down. So It's really hard to put your stuff out without having been kind of silenced.
Yeah, I've noticed that on Facebook alone. I mean, we've got 7,000 or something on Facebook, 6,000. I think we're around 6,000 on my PS&Ed Facebook page. And cool. And I post something, and like a day later, I have didn't reach anybody. I'm like, no, because like 2 years ago I posted and it reached like 1,000 people. You can just easily tell what's been suppressed, and they just behind the scenes. And really hope that some lawsuit comes about or something to that extent. But I mean, it's private industry, right?
Oh, it's meta, right? So we're gonna go into the next phase of suppression, with this new altered universe. So that should be interesting.
Do you guys see stuff like this with TikTok? I mean, do you get banned on Facebook a lot, or I should say get what is it? Put in jail, Facebook jail? Do you have that happen to you a lot?
On Facebook, I've only been put in Facebook jail one time, and it was because I posted a picture that could be considered a male gun bunny, but it was funny. It was a joke. I've never been put in Facebook jail for anything that I've said. It was just that one photo, which the man was fully clothed. It was a cute, funny meme.
The only time I've ever been banned on Facebook is, I did go to jail for posting a picture of a Daisy Red Ryder that I was building. And so I basically I designed these custom Red Riders. Oh, there you go, I love it.
This is our shirt. Meet the pressers. Yep, my design, my idea. So I love my,
give me one second.
I love my fully automatic assault rifle.
Anyways,
don't shoot your eye out.
So anyways, I built these, I designed these, right? I started off with a table scratch on a napkin, and basically it's a Red Rider with an adjustable stock.
What?
And so basically I was assembling like the first version of this on my tailgate of my truck. I took a photo, put it on my story, and then I got a 30-day ban for that. So basically this is a Daisy Red Rider that has an adjustable, so now I can get, 3-year-olds to shoot this. I can get adults to shoot this.
Yeah.
And, that's the benefit of the adjustable stock. As much as those crazy antis say that the adjustable stock makes the rifle more deadly, it really doesn't. It really helps with safety. Also,
right.
Custom machine the handle there so it fits perfectly inside there. And then I put an angled foregrip there, so
that is awesome.
Very, very terroristic, I guess. And so I was banned for that. So
where do I get one of those?
I actually have kits. I'm getting ready to kind of drop them, and I'm going to sell them as kits. So you can just basically take your Red Rider and do the whole shebang.
Oh, it's a conversion then.
Absolutely, yeah. Bolt on, yeah.
I love it.
NFA stamp yet. We'll see what happens with the Biden administration. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's got to be a center fire or rim fire, right? But they'll try to ban it.
We don't know. It fires a projectile, so we don't know.
Did you know that the Uzi is banned in New York State?
Is that
the Tommy gun is banned in New York State?
You live in New York State.
I do. The wasp injection knife isn't banned, but I'm assuming it will be. Is swords legal? Where is it? Swords legal. There it is. Oh, the bat from The Walking Dead, Lucille, is illegal. That's called a bludgeon under New York State law.
Is it?
Yeah. These are AK-47s over here. Those are illegal in New York State.
So why are you broadcasting them?
Because I'm law enforcement and I have an FFL, so I legally can have them.
It's like, oh,
I got a little shiny thing and an FFL, which I'm going to get my SOT, so I'll be turning that Tommy gun into a full auto soon. Say hello to my little friend. Anyway, so I don't think, I mean, I might have, but I don't recall ever being in Facebook jail. And I'm surprised because I like sharing like crazy shit sometimes. My wife more than me. My wife's never been. Our daughter actually just got put in Facebook jail. I don't even know what it was, but she did something. She's been in it more than me, which is still surprising. But anyway, I raise good kids. What other platforms? Any other issues on any other platforms?
On Instagram, not me, but I've noticed a lot of people having to make backup accounts on it. It's crazy, and I don't know if their posts are getting flagged by other people or if it's an algorithm thing, because I've some similar things and mine have been attacked, I guess.
I just came across your profile just the other day when you post on Facebook that you were banned. I had no idea you were there, and so now I'm seeing your stuff all the time, and I really, really enjoy it. It's really good stuff. Something that's really dear to my heart is the DV stuff. I lost somebody really close to me about just over a year ago, and we still haven't gone through trial yet. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's such a tragedy that we're not really talking about right now because of COVID. It's, they're focusing on the virus, but we're not seeing the byproduct that comes along with it, with, child abuse, domestic violence, drug abuse, suicide. Those are all on the increase, and we're not talking about that, so that's what's really, really sad. I'm glad you're bringing awareness to that. That's very important.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think COVID personally, it affected me in my case. I have spent the past 2 years fighting my abuser in court. Because of COVID, our court case got pushed back 4 times.
Oh, wow.
And we are now finalizing my husband adopting my son and our son. And COVID really put a giant wrench into things. And I spoke with my son's school, to the school board because of how they're doing these quarantines. And I tried to bring awareness to the school that putting a healthy kid in quarantine is dangerous. Here in my state of Oklahoma, 70% of women are survivors of domestic violence, 40% are men. And most of those happen whenever they're children. So it's a scary situation. And I want people to be aware that there are people who don't want to go home, kids who just don't want to go home.
Yeah. It's a getaway.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's not mutually exclusive. Right now, everybody's isolated, and our children are suffering because of this. And I understand, there's some people that have died, and I don't want to lessen that, but it's the downstream impact that's I'm afraid about. What about 10 to 15 years from now, when we have our kids that have all grown up in masks, or they haven't learned how to socially interact with one another? What's going to happen then? And you add the online training, you add social media, which really isn't good for our mental health. It could be bad.
We we homeschool. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but
Good for you.
We promote it on the social media so people know that, see that. And that's always the question that people say, well, how do they socialize? And there's homeschool groups, and it's not like we're in a Waco camp or something, and we don't go out into the real world. We go out into the real world less now than we did before COVID, but how many people are not going out as much now because of COVID? So it's kind of interesting that I kind of want to go back to the people that used to, well, how do they socialize? And go, how's your socializing going now with COVID? Because, everybody handles things differently, especially our 5-year-old, which not a lot of people know, but we're foster parents. We've been foster parents for quite a few years. And Danny, we've had 12 or 13 kids come through the house, and we adopted Danny. So Danny was, our 5-year-old is one of the foster children that we adopted, and love her to death. But she's got SPD. She was born addicted to morphine, addicted to opiates, and they put her on morphine to wean her off of it. And so she's, she would much rather just stay at home and never leave, because she doesn't, she has anxiety issues in public with people, and we still subject her to that to try to get her used to it, because we want her to be as normal as possible. But who's normal as possible? I think everybody's their own quirky, different self, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, socializing, because we're not doing this in person. We're doing this on Skype or Zoom.
Well, this serves a purpose, right? And we're grown adults, and we know how to interact with one another. This is just an extra avenue for us to meet,
True.
And our kids, at especially a young age, like 5 to 7 to 8 to 9, that's a very important age for them to learn how to interact with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And so kudos to you for doing the homeschool, and kudos for adopting. I mean, that's that really cool. I'm glad you guys were able to do that.
Yeah, it's being foster parents we've been married 30 years, and that's probably one of the toughest things we've ever done, ever. And we got married in high school. We had a kid at 15 and 16, and been around the country, different places around the world, being in the military. It's foster care is and very tough. Almost ripped us apart, but it's it's good. So we've kind of taken a step back and put it on hold last year, or actually earlier this year. So still keep the license valid, but right now we're just kind of focusing on Danny and us and the farm. So
that's a good thing. It's a good thing for us to focus on our kids, especially while everyone is stressed out about COVID. It's as adults, we're so distracted with everything going on right now that it's very difficult for us to come home and not have that stress when we're interacting with our children. And I know, like, my child, he has ADHD and he has PTSD from the situation we came out of. And I catch myself often going, oh gosh, I'm not showing him the emotions that I normally would, all because of the stress going on in the world right now. It's weighing on me.
Sure. Yeah. That's the hardest thing for me, is just to, find the time. And especially with traveling, we try to do FaceTime or something when I'm traveling, but it's still, it's nice when we can to work from home and just be able to get up in the morning. Like our thing with Danny is we'll go out and let the chickens out in the morning together. And she goes out and picks them up and pets the chicken. I mean, she loves the chicken. So, and then as a family, we'll walk down to the pond and feed the fish, and then walk out to the waterfalls. And, so we try to do stuff like that, but it's still, even then, it's, with everything going on, it's tough to find time. Even more now, even with technology making it easier for us to find time to do stuff like this, it's still a time suck, right? It's like, oh, yeah. So TikTok, back to the beast at hand. I got a sword if we want to slay the beast. Wait, will we get demonetized by saying that? No ramifications, no reasoning, any progress, anything that you see light at the end of the tunnel for either of you?
So how TikTok works is you have your creator fund, and that fund is actually what I was using to help survivors. There was $500 in that account. And if you get banned permanently, in their guidelines, they keep the money. So that is a rough thing. And you also connect your social and stuff so you can get W-2s from TikTok. So there's no way for me to retrieve that either from them. So that is a little bit of a negative thing. The cool thing that I do see is a lot of people standing up saying that it was wrong, that that both of us lost our accounts. How I carry, I know she made a video for Derek, and that's how I found out that you had been taken down. And it's cool to see a lot of people in the firearms community stand up and be like, hey, there's no reason these people should have been taken down. So that's I guess the light.
My the second video that I posted, I did a duet of one video of somebody saying something about guns, and then the second video I did on TikTok was of I think it was just a picture, if I'm not mistaken, of the cannon shooting pumpkins, and they blocked it like almost immediate. So it must have been an algorithm, and they said that it goes against their guidelines. I'm like, it is unsafe or something. Like, I'm shooting pumpkins with a cannon. Huh? So I appealed it, and they approved it and put it up. But it was interesting. I'm like, okay, they just must have anything, cannon, gun, ammo, shooting. Those words must automatically block it, and they just hope people don't appeal it, and then it stays blocked. It was nuts.
Part of their guidelines is if it's on a safe range with instructors or professionals, they will allow. And that's our video was a 15-year-old boy handing a rifle off to me. Muzzle was pointed in a safe direction. The chamber flag was still in the rifle. I mean, it's about as sterile as I can make it in that situation. And it took the whole account down. It's just like, and there's no, I appealed it multiple times, and that you put up a link, which I really, really appreciate there. I went to that link and submitted there. I still haven't heard anything, and so it's, it's disheartening. It's the fact that, there's, they don't realize is we in America, okay, in America, we have 110 million gun owners, right? There's over, 425 million estimated guns in this country. It's literally impossible for them to have a platform that there's not going to be a firearm that's going to be viewed on their platform. And so I understand, why there's such a knee-jerk reaction when it comes to our firearms. We should be celebrating, and promoting responsible gun ownership as opposed to be trying to keep everybody in the dark.
It's interesting how, when you said that, it made me think of like all the rap videos where they got guns and they're talking about their blow and their hose and all this stuff. And that's all fine and dandy. They can do that because they're, I guess, making money in the music industry.
Actually, they consider that art, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I think
'Cause I believe that's how Two Live Crew, won their First Amendment appeal at the Supreme Court level because they considered it art, even though it was, vulgar and offensive, I guess.
Art.
Art.
Speaking of art, I got an art class I'm creating.
Are you?
It's called capital A, capital R, lowercase t. And you take your AR and you shoot targets that explode and create art.
Oh, you totally missed shoot the tee box. Could have got a little tee box right there.
I could do a tee. That actually would add another dynamic to the name of the class. But yeah, so you bring your AR to the class. It's called art class, and it's like tannerite, but it doesn't burn like tannerite does, doesn't it? Doesn't destroy things.
It's like gonna blow up washing machines?
No. I actually do have a dishwasher. We're gonna blow up a tannerite soon. Yeah, we're gonna actually try to hit it with a cannon. I don't know if we'll get enough speed on that golf ball to actually ignite the tannerite, but we're gonna try. That and the van. I got a van that we use for vehicle tactics classes, and we're gonna shoot that with a cannon too. Not tannerite. We're not gonna put tannerite. I need the van for classes, so I can't blow the van up. But I can blow the dishwasher up because that's an old dishwasher. My wife said, get rid of it. So yes, ma'am, we'll get rid of it.
For science.
Yes, for sure. Get rid of it. It'll be scattered across the yard. I've blown up a Yeti mug with tannerite. I've blown up a Nike bag with 4 pounds of tannerite. I tried to blow up a snowman last year, but it just didn't ignite. So I got to do that again this year, but I like tannerite. Best way for people to get a hold of you, Cass, is it going to be?
Best way is going to be Instagram because I can message quicker at Star Snoop Dogg.
Super. And Derek, once again?
You can find us on all platforms. Kids Safe Foundation. You also can find us on our website, kidssafefoundation.org.
Awesome. Viewers and listeners, check these guys out. They're awesome. Doing great things. Cass, funny as hell, man. Funny as hell.
Yes.
Or funny as heaven. I should say that. That's better. That's more. So cool. Awesome having you guys. And we'll see you out there. Stay safe.
Hello, my name is Klint Macro. A number of years ago, as we all watched the tragic events of Parkland unfold on the TV, one of my colleagues, Grant Gallagher, co-founder of National Train to Teacher Day, reached out to me with a tremendous idea. His idea was that we band together as a unified front of independent professional firearms and safety instructors and offer free training to teachers, school staff, and administrators so that we could help empower them, empower those people who are charged with the safety and education of our children with information and knowledge that would help them if ever, God forbid, evil were to darken the door of the schools in our communities. I thought this was a great idea. So I got the website built right away and sent out a call to action to my colleagues across the country. They answered the call. Hundreds of volunteer instructors offered their time, effort, and energy for the first National Train to Teacher Day, which took place in 2018. So we've done this every year. 2019, 2020, 2021. The last 2 years have been a little bit rough because of the pandemic, but we're going to hit 2022 very hard, and we're starting that today. I am proclaiming the 5th annual National Train to Teacher Day to be June 18th, 2022. Hundreds of volunteer instructors across the country are offering free training to teachers, school staff, administrators, and those that work with youth in a leadership capacity. That could be clergy, could be Sunday school teachers, could be priests, preachers, rabbis, and reverends. If you fit that category and would like to obtain some free training, whether it be gun training, safety training, unarmed training, pepper spray, situational awareness training, medical training, visit nationaltrainatoteacherday.com, and there you can connect with one of the volunteer instructors. If you're an instructor and you'd like to volunteer your time, effort, and energy to this cause, you can also volunteer on that website using the Volunteer tab. I'm very proud to say that over the years we have picked up some sponsors and some partners. And this year, the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, the USCCA, Sabre Pepper Spray, and Taser are all sponsoring the 5th Annual National Train a Teacher Day. And what that means is they're going to offer free training supplies to certified instructors that teach their respective curriculum on National Train a Teacher Day. We've also partnered up with DC Project and a Girl and a Gun Shooting League. Both of these organizations are fantastic organizations that are empowering our fellow Americans, and they're also helping us spread the word so that we can reach more end users in this program. Visit nationaltrainateacherday.com and find an instructor in your area. If there's not an instructor in your area, contact me. My information is on that website, and I will do my level best to connect you with a professional instructor that can offer you training on June 18th, 2022. I look forward to working with you, and I thank you all for participating. I really have to thank my volunteer instructors. If it weren't for you, this program would be nothing, and I am humbled by the amount of support that I've seen across the country from my fellow firearms and safety instructors. Visit nationaltrainateacherday.com for more information. Until then, we'll see you next time.
There's lots of sponsors that make this show possible, like Mountain Man Medical.
Check them out and give them your business.
This episode is brought to you by Steel City Ammunition. Can't find ammo? We've got it. We'll ship it and our prices are fair. Mountain Man Medical. The right medical training and gear should be accessible to every American. Mantis. Mantis X helps shooters suck less. Meet the Pressers is also generously supported by other fine companies, ranges, and our Patreon members. Thank you.
Thanks for watching or listening to our show.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Click that little bell thingy so you know when the next episode's uploaded. Support us on Patreon. Come to one of our classes. Host us to come to you and do one of our classes at your location.
And until next time,
Adieu.
Thank you for watching Meet the Pressers.